Hey, hey, hey. Okay, so we're going to talk about reports for directors, like what reports you're going to use the most. And I've got my handy dandy laptop here so I can walk you through all the steps for the reports that I use the most at Director. So the first thing to know is you need to log into your VO. Probably by now, I'm sure you know this. And then all of the reports are under Team. So you just click on Team and you see all of that. You should be very familiar with the graphical tree view. Don't always trust what the back office says about what you need for your next promotion. We have shown you guys the paper charts over and over and over. Fill those out. It's so much better if you do it yourself and like actually see where you need what. But the graphical tree is kind of the starting place to fill all of that out. You can tell at a glance what the volumes are for different levels and see where your holes are, see who still needs to be Q, all of that. And then you could just transfer the information to a paper chart and then highlight the people as they be Q or holes that are filled. That's how I like to keep track. Another really important thing to watch as your team is growing is the jump starts report. So you can go down to that. It's the fourth one down, and that's going to tell you, who's on track for their jump starts, when they end, how much they have in sales. And I like to look at that like once a week and kind of see where people are. And that way you can reach out to them or their sponsor can reach out to them. But if you're also looking, it's another layer of help if they're close. Because the last thing any of us would want is for somebody to be like a party back away from their jump start and not realize it. So that's a great place to keep an eye on it. It has the dates for 35, 65, and 95, and it has their cumulative PV for each one. And it's organized by date with the most recent new stylist at the top. Of course, as always, you can click on any of those tabs, and that's going to resort them by quantity from smallest to largest. So if you wanted to see PV from smallest to largest somewhere, you would just click it once. If you click it again, it's going to reorganize it from highest to lowest. And if you click it again, it's going to go back to the original order. And then also another great thing to do is to use your filters within the report. So any reports that you're using, you can click on the little drop down on any field and you can set up a filter. So it can be like greater than a certain number, less than a certain number. I use it all the time for names when I'm in the VO. Like if I go to my downline report and I'm looking to see if this new stylist is on our team or something like that, and I know her name is Amanda, I will just go to first name and then type in Amanda and hit enter. Then all the Amandas come up. That's really helpful because sometimes people's name on Facebook is not their real name. And so you want to use like their first name or last name to see like, okay, who is this? And as your team grows, you're going to have that because you're not going to know every single person right at first, but you're going to develop relationships with them all, right? Another great thing that I always look at the beginning of each new month, right after commissions run. Some of these reports are not accurate until after commissions run, and this is one of them. It's the new promotions report. So you can look and see who promoted within your organization. It's going to show you first-time BQ stylist, senior stylist, team leaders, all the way up. You're going to be able to see all those new promotions, which makes it a lot easier for you to shout them out. Right now, maybe you're really aware every time somebody promotes because you're such a close-knit team, and that's amazing. But it's not always going to be that way as your team grows. You're going to need like that backup. Even if you're kind of aware, that's a great backup tool to see at the end of the month who has done what, because we definitely want to recognize big promotions and all promotions. Another great one right below that is upcoming promotions. That's going to show you the percentage. Like when we look in the VO, we see our little circle and it says what percent each person or you are to your next level. This is the each person view of that. So you'll be able to see who on your team is close to promoting to the next level. Now, keep in mind that this is going to be for first time promotions to the next level. So if you're trying to see if your team leader leg is close to maintaining, this will not show you that. You'll need to go to the graphical tree, find their name, click on it, and then up at the top, you can click on it again, and there you can see how close they are to the next level with one of those options. As you're going to grow, you're going to need to keep an eye on the 5 months without BQ report. Obviously, if you have just joined within 5 months, that's not going to come into play for any of your people. But as time goes on, you might have some stylists that are on that report. It's great to look at that the very first week of the month so that you can reach out to everybody and make sure they know that this is their month. They have to BQ or they'll stop being a stylist. And then also reach out to them again, like mid-month, end of month, and kind of see how it's going. Usually people will have made a decision at that point, and you'll know if they're like pushing to stay a stylist or not. And we just always want to respect their decision, but also do whatever we can to encourage them and equip them to succeed if they want to keep going, because we don't want to lose anybody. We want everybody to feel like they can succeed at this. I love, as you're going up and you're attaining new ranks, I love the volume by date report. You might see your leaders do lots of like incentives based on 1 day's sales. This is our tool. This is how we can do it. So all you do is go to volume by date. You enter a start date and the end date. For the start date, it's going to start at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, like the stroke of midnight Central Standard Time, and it's going to run all the way to the end date to 11:59 seconds p.m. Central Standard Time. So just know, like, start date starts in the morning, end date ends at night, and then you can put your date range in. So even if it's 1 day, you can pull a 1 day report, you can pull a weekend report, you can pull whatever you want to see. If you want to see beginning of month to now, you can do that, and it shows you a lot of great things like PV. You can see who's enrolled people, all of that kind of stuff. It's a really great one. And then as you kind of go on and you do have stylist deactivate, you're going to eventually be able to see the deactivated stylist report. It's not available right away. Actually, I'm not 100% sure at what level it's available, but probably once you become a leader, or it may be senior director. I don't actually know, but you will see a deactivated stylist report. Maybe it's when you actually have deactivated stylists that you can see that, but I'm pretty sure it's a leadership report. So you can go, if you ever have any need to go back and look and see like what somebody did before they left, that's one that you can use. Not one I really ever use very much. Even at senior executive. So just kind of keep on the radar. It's there if you need to check on somebody that's no longer a stylist. And then the custom reports, oh my gosh, it can show you everything. So this is my go-to report for end of month to see what happened the previous month. I like to check on volumes, and I like to see like how many people BQ'd, how many people hit enhanced commission. You can use it for almost anything, from seeing how many stylists are in one state to seeing how many stylists hit 2,400 or hit 600 and above in a given month. You can break it down by week. You can break it down by month. You can include and exclude all kinds of stuff. If you need a list of people's addresses that BQ'd last month, this report will give you that. You simply check the check box next to the items you want the report to show, and then you can uncheck anything you don't need, and then you set up your parameters. So if you need it by rank, you can filter it by paid as rank that month, what rank they had, or highest rank. So their rank that carried through that maybe they didn't hit this past month. And then you can select all of the ranks there. So you can see who achieved what rank. You can also set a personal volume parameter. You can set a group volume parameter. You can see it for a specific stylist. You can do just about anything. You can see just the people you enrolled if you really want to touch base with them, because we make the most money on the people we personally enroll, right? And the people that they enroll. So, you can check up on them. You can see all of the jumpstart stuff in a report format. Who's joined in the past 35, 65, and 95 days. And you can choose to include or exclude deactivated stylists. It's set to exclude them. But if for some reason you needed to see a full picture with those folks back in, you can bring them back in, and then you can filter by state, which I think is so cool as your team grows to see that you're going to be in different states and you get to run a report to see like who is where. That is a super great report. And then just within reports, all of them, you can move columns. You do that by clicking and dragging. I can even do it on my phone, same way, point and drag, and you can see that. I like to sometimes put PV right next to name if I have several other columns in between. And then I love to export to Excel if I need to do any other kind of manipulation, because there it's, you know, static. I can print it from there. I can adjust the width of the thing so they'll all fit on one page. You can play with it a ton, but that is a great place to get all of the reports and information you need in a great format that's super usable and that can be manipulated. And that is all I've got. If you have any other report suggestions, you can drop them below, or if you have a question about how to find a certain information or anything like that as a director, you can reach out to your upline, or you can tag me in the report video, and I will be happy to do my best to figure it out. So good luck. Bye.